Part 303. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3021. This is the pinnacle of his life. It's also good to wash away the humiliation I suffered before. As soon as I thought of this, the whole person became swayed, the light in the eyes couldn't help but increased, and all kinds of thoughts were violently churning. Let all this follow and explode in full swing. This is the most real feeling in my heart. Unlimited outbreaks. Unlimited takeoffs. After drawing lots, Fang Fan returned directly to the auditorium. Now it's time to wait for deployment. Boy Fang Fan, I've been humming upset with those bastards from Yuanqi Academy for a long time. This time, I can take this opportunity to fix them properly. Boy Fang Fan, the captain of the representative team of the Yuanqi Academy, is too arrogant. Let me go in the first battle. I want him to go around without eating. Boy Fang Fan, I've made arrangements for the gambling table, a 5-for-1 deal. Boy Fang Fan. As soon as Fang Fan walked down, Bai Piao couldn't help but started beeping. All kinds of sounds came one after another, and he felt a bee buzzing beside his ear. Fang Fan scratched his ears, and subconsciously twitched the corners of his mouth. It was still the noisy Bai Piao, which had never changed. For the first round, let the ghost go. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, came over suddenly, and said with a smile on his face. Fang Fan, Bai Piao, and the others focused their eyes on the past, each in amazement. Because according to the previous division, Gisha is only a member of the reserve team. Of course, after the Devil's training before, Gisha at this moment has already been promoted from the 4-star Peak Sanctuary to the 5-star Initial Sanctuary. Among the first-year students, he is actually not weak. Of course, this strength actually depends on who you are competing with, and some key points must be controlled. Let the ghost go. What's the meaning? Deputy Palace Master, this. Brother Gisha is not bad, but what, they belong to the reserve team after all. Deputy Palace Master, you don't want us to receive the rewards for the students from the battle school, do you? It was what you promised before, against the students from the other 2 colleges. If you win a game, you will be rewarded with 1,000,000 credits, if you win another game, you will be rewarded with double credits. Deputy Palace Master, you can't be fooling around. I'm a member of the official team. Bai Piao on the side stared wide-eyed, then raised his head and chest with a proud face. Who is talking to you about these things? That's not the case at all. With this little credit, Guangming Academy can still deduct you. The main thing is that you are all hidden forces. If you can hold on, it's better to hold on. In other words, they are all trump cards. You must have an unexpected effect. It's just been against the Yuanqi Academy, there are still many powerful enemies behind. The Dark Academy is our strong enemy. Besides, you also have to be careful with the Blood Demon transformation taboo combat technique that the Black and White Academy has been using all along. There must be no surprises. Let Gisha test the waters first. If there is pressure from Gisha, it's not too late for you to go up. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, pondered, and then said solemnly from the side, the changes in facial expressions are very real at this moment, and these are all derived from the purest expression of thoughts in the heart. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3022. This. It sounds like that's the case. But it doesn't feel right. It's hard for me to hang on like this. Bai Piao opened his mouth, and then complained from the side. Okay. Just do it. You must not have any accidents. Everything is at my command. With a big wave of his hand, Shui Wanren directly vetoed Bai Piao's complaints. It probably means that you can have your own opinions, but just keep your own opinions well. Bai Piao wanted to argue with reason, but the deputy palace master Shui Wanren never gave him this chance. Bai Piao has an aggrieved face. But at this moment, he can only follow Tu Nehi. Running the gamble well is much more valuable than credit rewards. It's good to be stable mentally. Fang Fan glanced at Bai Piao, then shrugged indifferently, probably that was the case. In all aspects, it is good to be steady, no need to say much. At this point, the real battle has just begun. The previous college selection can only be said to be a process. At this time, it is time to start the real sword and gun. If you are not careful, you will sprint to your death. There are basically no surprises between the Dark Academy and the Nether Academy. Basically, if you come up, you will pick one. In order to preserve their combat power, the students of Nether Academy simply conceded defeat as soon as they entered the field. Go through the process and admit defeat 3 times. According to the rule of 5 rounds and 3 wins, the battle is actually over. Needless to say the rest of those things, everything will sink. It took less than 5 minutes from the start to the end of the war between this dark school and the Nether Academy. At this moment, there was a burst of complaints from the surrounding area. Everyone gathered in the auditorium, because they are preparing to watch the battle, hoping to see the blood rain fight, not for you to come and talk about it. Looking at the past with this glance, isn't there anything wrong with it? This Nether Academy is too cowardly, isn't it? Anyway, put on a show of resistance, you didn't do anything, and you were directly KO. I'm going to what's the situation? What's the situation? The more you look at it, the weirder it is, okay. 666. My mentality just exploded. Wouldn't it be better to just feel sick and vomit? In order to preserve power, the Nether Academy has given up all face. Admit defeat 3 times. Willing to fall. Hey, speaking of which, this Nether Academy is also an old first-class academy. Now this is it? This is it? Hee, I don't have any arrogance at all, my spine is broken, and I was frightened when I saw that my opponent was a Dark Academy. Tisk, tisk tisk, who said it wasn't? I was shown off. Wave after wave of yelling followed, making one's brain tremble inexplicably. Needless to say the rest for the time being, in fact, it feels like that. Be real and clear. This Nether Academy managed to preserve its combat power, but to a certain extent, it lost its prestige. There was endless sighing in the audience, most of them were complaining about this Nether Academy. The benevolent see benevolence and the wise see wisdom. It is indeed not worthwhile to engage in a bloody battle that is impossible to win for a little reputation and prestige. Sometimes choosing to submit properly is not weakness, but the best way to protect yourself wisely. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, his hands couldn't help beating on both sides, his eyes showed a thoughtful look. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3023. The battle belonging to the Dark Academy and the Nether Academy has ended, and now the eyes of the audience can only focus on the Yuanxi Academy and the Bright Academy. The Guangming Academy is fighting against Guisha, a 5-star early-stage Sanctuary Realm ghost. And Yuanxi Academy played against Ren Sun, a cultivator of the 5-star initial stage of the Sanctuary Realm. The realms of the two are the same, and each fights. Gisha is holding a long spear, and this Ren Sun is holding a long sword. An inch is long and an inch is strong. An inch is short and an inch is risky. The two began to fight, attracting countless eyes. In fact, what everyone is looking for is really the current battle. Gisha, a first-year student of Guangming Academy, Please advise. Ren Sun, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, please advise. The two cupped their hands to each other, and then started a bloody charge. At this time, don't pay attention to humility or anything. Since you have already planned to start a battle, you have to fight each other, regardless of each other, and fighting with all your strength is the only choice. Whoosh! Gisha's long spear stabbed out like a long dragon, shooting out infinite sparks in the air, and felt his eyes flicker inexplicably. Feeling it a little at this moment, the body will twitch violently, and the whole person will start to float. Such a feeling, in vain. What a razor-sharp spear. This kid is so evil, it doesn't look like a student of Guangming Academy anymore. Suddenly there was an unexpected exclamation from below. He, that man's name is Gisha, and he is the young master of the Fallen Palace in the sanctuary of the Fallen World. In mid-air, there was an answering sound. Fallen Sanctuary? Oh, then it's no wonder that the little guy from this Fallen Sanctuary is more murderous than anyone else. This Fallen Sanctuary was originally a no-nonsense area, and it seemed to have been close to the dark camp before. Now it's finally, are you still going to fall to the camp of light? Who can say for sure about this kind of thing? One reply a day, maybe it won't be long before it's reversed again. Hush, don't dare to talk nonsense about such things. Nonsense? What nonsense is this? Isn't that the case? Are they all recognized? Let's get down to business. It can be seen that the students of this Guangming Academy are stronger. I'm afraid there will be no suspense in the first battle. Bright Academy is about to win. The chattering sounds in the surrounding area increased more and more, and at this moment, there was a sound of sighing. Anyway, these feelings are gathered in the heart, which seems very real. The eyes of everyone around gathered here, and they watched with gusto. People outside the field could see that Gisha had the upper hand in this battle, and Ren Sun, the student from Yuanji Academy who played in the battle, was naturally able to distinguish right from wrong. At this moment, with a slight glance, you can basically see it. At this moment, there was naturally some nervousness on his face. It's not just a matter of face, Yuanji Academy has great expectations for him in this battle. If you are not careful, you may be crushed. If you really lose, it doesn't matter if you are shameless. I'm afraid it will be difficult to get along in Yuanji Academy in the future. I am afraid that those mentors, principals, deputy palace masters, etc., also feel that they are particularly unhappy. Ren Sun, a student of Yuanji Academy, gritted his teeth, and his breathing couldn't help but become rapid. Kill! Ren Sun roared, and the whole body was full of arrogance. Immediately, a golden talisman suddenly appeared in his hand. Sword Spirit Possession. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3024. After Ren Sun, a participating student from Yuanji Academy, let out a roar, the golden talisman in his hand was instantly burned, and soon, the long sword in his hand trembled, invisibly giving people an extremely strong oppression feel. Feeling it for a while, I felt inexplicably excited. At this moment, all kinds of thoughts gathered here, followed by a 5-star spirit state that instantly attached to the student Ren Sun of Yuanji Academy. Immediately, the aura of Ren Sun Zou's body was instantly strengthened, as if he was much stronger in an instant, giving people a strong sense of oppression invisibly, and he fell in love with it inexplicably. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is real, too real. Gradually, instantly destroyed. That's all, people can't help but feel a sense of horror. At this moment, Ren Sun of Yuanji Academy is quite different from before. Kill! Ren Sun secretly agreed, and then directly charged towards Gisha. Clang! Ren Sun's sword collided with Guisha's spear. In the previous battles, under this situation, it was normally this Rensun who retreated in an all-round way. Although Rensun and Guisha had the same cultivation base, but obviously, in terms of combat power, Guisha is still better. But at this moment, a special degree of transformation did occur. After colliding with each other, Guisha suddenly felt his tiger's mouth go numb, and the spear in his hand almost died directly. At this moment, his lips were trembling, and the black lines on his forehead gathered all over. It's useless at the moment, it's really completely useless. His eyes widened, and he felt a sense of shock from the depths of his heart for no reason. Thoughts gathered here, and lips trembled crazily. This feeling is particularly unique. The combat power has increased several times. How can it be? Guisha's eyes widened, and at this moment he had no choice but to parry. Immediately afterwards, the cold sweat on Guisha's forehead couldn't help but also increased. At this moment, Guisha has fallen into a complete disadvantage. The wind direction of the audience is also changing in an all-round way. Good guy, Yuanji Academy came prepared. Why does Rensun from Yuanji Academy seem to have taken drugs suddenly? Damn it, I don't understand, I really don't understand. Hee, those who take drugs or not are all bullshit. This guy, didn't he burn a golden charm just now? It's a sword spirit possessed spirit charm. This kind of talisman has been lost now, and there are very few left over. I didn't expect this guy to get one. This sword spirit possession talisman is essentially to release the incorporeal body of the sword spirit sealed in the spirit talisman, and then merge with the user, so that you can better use the sword in your hand. In a short period of time, it can indeed skyrocket your combat power. But the longer this thing is possessed, the greater the sequelae. If it is possessed for half an hour or an hour, the main body may be completely stupid. Before the critical moment, naturally we can't be so blind. Hey. According to what you said, the student from Guangming Academy is almost cold. What can I do if it's not cold? Hey, who would have thought that Rensun from Yuanji Academy would be so determined? Tisk 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 tisk, this looks more and more interesting. After all, this is the home court of Yuanji Academy, and the first battle of Yuanji Academy must be won. The battle between this school is still wonderful. Damn it! The so-called battle between the Dark School and the Nether Academy just now really made me sick. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3025. There are endless discussions around. For Guisha at this moment, the situation is indeed critical. On the attic, Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, was originally in a distressed posture. Seeing that Rensun, a student of the Yuanji Academy, had taken the upper hand, he suddenly smiled. Yuanji Academy must hit the ground running. This is a good sign. As soon as he thought of this, the excitement on the face of Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, was beyond words, and the brilliance in his eyes flickered all over. The thoughts gathered here, and the whole person couldn't help but feel flustered. All in all, how comfortable it is. Brother Tai, what do you think of the prospects of this battle? Hey, speaking of it, this Rensun is really ignorant. He said it was a friendly match. Why are you working so hard? Even if it's a few tricks, it doesn't matter if you let the friends from Guangming Academy win a few games. After all, the person who came from afar is a guest. Look, how can this be such an attitude towards the guests? It shouldn't be, it really shouldn't be. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy at the side, sighed with emotion, and then said pretendingly at the side. I have to say, this guy is really good at pretending. Boo 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 to the end, that's it? This is nothing. The more I listened, the more weird I felt, and the more I listened, the more I felt that there were many problems. The situation is also unfolding invisibly. The corner of Tai Shiji's mouth twitched, he was speechless to Su Qin, the deputy master of Yuanji Academy. This guy is really good at pretending. Why didn't your Yuanji Academy students speak when they failed just now? Seeing that he gradually gained the upper hand, he started to feel flustered. And does it really feel good to use the sword spirit possession talisman for forcible possession? After ruining a future proud son of heaven, are you still secretly happy here? Tai Shiji felt extremely disdainful in his heart. He. Vice Palace Master Su Qin is really polite. Since they have already used the precious sword spirit possessed talisman, if this is not successful, wouldn't it be unreasonable? This is not very good, is it? After all, once this sword soul possessed talisman is used, the soul will definitely be damaged. It may be difficult to reach a higher level in the future. Speaking of which, Yuanji Academy is really rich and powerful. Can such a proud son of heaven use it to test the effect of the sword spirit's possessed charm? Really, it's really something I never thought of. Tai Shiji sneered, and his eyes couldn't help flickering with a different kind of brilliance. While talking at the moment, the corners of his mouth are also raised in an all-round way. In fact, all this is already ridiculing. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, had a dark face, which looked particularly ugly at the moment. Got pissed off. Isn't this wave of slapping him directly in the face? What the hell, can you bear it? Needless to say, the mentality has gradually collapsed. The posture of gnashing teeth was revealed, and the black line on the forehead also flickered across the board. At this moment, to whom can I tell the anxiety in my heart? It was originally something that could be shown off, but now being said so by Tai Shiji, it made everyone feel that their Yuanji Academy had suffered a blood loss. Invisibly, it also showed the attitude of their Yuanji Academy at all costs in order to win. What is the difference between this and the Black and White Academy that used to perform evil and taboo combat skills like Blood Demon Transformation? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3026. Brother Tai was joking. Above the ring, don't ask about the means, just look at the result. The process, just look at it. The winner is the prince and the loser is the bandit. Brother Tai must know this truth. The matter has come to this, it is really useless to say more. All in all, it's good that the students of our Yuanji Academy can win the victory without a hitch. As for the others, as for talking so much. Su Qin, deputy head of Yuanji Academy, sneered, and now let's talk about the results. It looks like their Yuanji Academy has already won the victory. Grand Uncle Ji stopped talking, and now his eyes were focused on the ring, his brows could not help but start to frown. If there is no such sword spirit possession magic talisman, if you fight according to the normal rhythm, Goisha can win with a high probability. But now that student Rensun of Yuanji Academy did not hesitate to sacrifice himself and started doing this, the situation actually became serious. If you are not careful, you may be directly involved in it. What will happen by then is still unknown. It's the bastard Su Qin who is making a fuss here. Snored. Tai Shiji secretly pondered in his heart, and naturally he was extremely upset. He and Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, were originally enemies. Off the stage, Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and focused on the ring. In the first battle, Goisha seemed to be showing signs of retreating. Why? I knew it earlier and let me play. Look, why is it so complicated? Guangming Academy lost the first battle, what a blow it is. This arrangement is unreasonable. The first battle. That is to carry out a thunderous blow. That is to show your vigorous posture, so that others will feel scared and afraid. Otherwise, isn't this bad? Continuing until now, I can't see anything clearly, and I can still talk about a hammer. How lacking is the ability to lead and arrange in all aspects? How should I put it? In fact, I still need to practice hard. Bai Piao's mouth has never been cowardly, and what he said in the open and in the dark is actually complaining about the inappropriate arrangement of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, so he should be let Bai Piao fight the first battle. Although Bai Piao didn't mention his name at this moment, it was actually more serious than naming his name. After rambling on to the end, what he said was serious. As for the ones after that, it's good for everyone to keep silent. What else do they say? Shui Wanren was not stupid. How could he fail to hear the complaints in Bai Piao's words, so he stared directly at Bai Piao with wide eyes. Stop talking nonsense. Watch the battle well. If you want to be in the ring, there are plenty of opportunities. If you give me the pick, you will be destroyed in minutes. Shui Wanren snorted coldly, and immediately hinted at the side. In Shui Wanren's view, there was not much hope for this battle. Bai Piao just took advantage of his words and watched Shui Wanren start to get angry, so he naturally shrank his neck and chose to back down. It's good to be timid. Why? It's a pity that the gamble. I opened another small gamble. I thought Brother Gisha would win. It looks like it's over now. It's a small loss of tens of thousands of high-grade star cores. Bai Piao nodded with emotion. In fact, that was the case. Fang Fan tapped his fingers on the table, his eyes looked very indifferent. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3027. At this moment, there are more or less other thoughts and ideas gathering in his heart. In fact, from the current point of view, there is not much problem in the overall situation. If it was a normal battle, Gisha would definitely be able to defeat Rensun from Yuanqi Academy. It was only because Rensun dispatched the sword spirit possessed by the magic talisman that the situation changed a little. Now Rensun, a student of Yuanqi Academy, has an advantage in this regard. If the sword spirit possessed by it is disabled or sluggish, the battle situation will return to normal. Fang Fan murmured, thinking to himself, the corners of his mouth raised slightly unnaturally. Thinking about it this way, it became more and more interesting. Slaying Heaven Sword. Fang Fan secretly shouted in his heart, and directly called out the sword spirit of Zhan Tianjian. Master, what's the matter with your name Zhan Zhan? Master, is there anything Zhan Zhan can do for you? Master. Excited shouts came from Zhan Tianjian and sword spirit. Can the silent situation suppress the sword spirit on the ring? Fang Fan continued to ask, while talking at the moment, his eyebrows were also raised in full. This is the most important thing at the moment. Suppress the sword spirit in the arena. Master, that's just a void spirit without independent consciousness, and it can be destroyed casually. Zhan Tianjian and sword spirit felt it for a while, and then said arrogantly, the excitement on his face was beyond words, and this time he became more and more smug. Fang Fan nodded. The reason why he asked the question at the beginning was actually because he felt that there should be a special connection or communication between the sword spirit and the sword spirit. Just never been sure. Now that he heard Zhan Tianjian and sword spirit say this, Fang Fan instantly felt relieved. Then the next thing is actually too simple, just follow this plan and implement it in an all-round way, there is no need to say anything, just stick to it. On the stage, Rensun, a student of Yuanqi Academy, fought more and more fiercely. Call. Cool. Sword spirit possession is strong. I will win this battle. Although I lost some real energy due to the possession of the sword spirit, I have made contributions to the Yuanqi Academy, and the Yuanqi Academy will never treat me badly. If this is the case, then there is no need to panic. Anyway, it's good to stabilize your mentality. It would be even better if I could take the opportunity to kill the participating students of this Guangming Academy. Deputy Palace Master Su Qin has always had opinions on them. If I can kill the participating students of this Guangming Academy, I will definitely be able to get the Deputy Palace Lord's favor. In this way, my future is naturally limitless. Ren Sun's eyeballs rolled around, and there were really a lot of things in his head, and he became excited as he talked. At this moment, thoughts are gathered here, and gradually become swaying. Die. Ren Sun snorted coldly, then made up his mind and launched a killer move. Clang. When the sound of metal collision came, Ren Sun's body trembled, and then his face showed endless horror, and the sound of breathing became real. This is different from what I expected, really different. How could this be so? The attack just now should have been overwhelming. How could he bounce himself back? At this moment, he felt bursts of pain in his hands. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 3028. His attack failed. Incredible. There is also a sense of mental numbness. Sword Spirit Possession. Wrong. Where's the Sword Spirit? Where is the power of the Sword Spirit? Why? Why don't I feel anything? This is not right. There must be tricks in it. Damn. Ren Sun, a student of Yuanji Academy, trembled his lips, and his eyes were full of panic at the moment. The sword spirit in my body is still there, but why doesn't it help me? And what's the matter with trembling? What the hell happened? Uncomfortable, I am so uncomfortable. Damn it. No. It's not like that. Roll. Ren Sun, a student of Yuanji Academy, clenched his fists, thinking to himself, the black lines on his forehead gathered together. At this moment, all kinds of thoughts in my heart are gathered here, and the whole person is about to go crazy. Endless killing intent followed, as if wanting to crush everything in front of him instantly. Can't bear it. I can't hold on anymore. Gisha stood on the ring in a daze, thinking that this guy's blow would be enough to knock him back below the ring, but he is still standing on top of the ring now. At this moment, his eyes glanced around, but he didn't see anything. This has a problem. The tricks in it are getting bigger and bigger. Invisibly, this mentality trembled silently. Thinking up to this point, the sound of inhalation gathered rapidly. Taking advantage of his illness, killing him. Gisha couldn't enjoy too much, and immediately launched a fierce attack. The spear was like a dragon, piercing through the void in one go, and stabbing towards the Yuanji Academy student Ren Sun. This appearance, this posture, the more you look at it, the weirder it becomes, and the more you look at it, the more extraordinary it becomes. Roll. Damn it. You're messing with me. I'm fighting with you. You bastard. Suppress my sword spirit. Ren Sun, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, was full of resentment. He took a few deep breaths, and then began to attack through gritted teeth. The black lines on his forehead were also gathering in full force, and the corners of his mouth began to twitch. Now the battle situation has returned to the beginning. Goisha firmly holds the upper hand, swinging a long spear like a flying dragon. And Ren Sun, a student of Yuanji Academy, can barely resist at this moment. But this kind of parrying can't last long, it won't last long, and Ren Sun, a student of Yuanji Academy, was singled out of the ring by a ghost. Even if he was full of resentment, at this moment he could only grit his teeth and choose to bear it. Facts are facts, and results are results. These things are completely different. Wanting to put them together for comparison, this is the most stupid behavior. All the eyes of the audience were focused here, and at this moment, they were more or less unable to react. How could this be? Is this too different from what you imagined? Originally, the Yuanji Academy was about to win, so why did it fail so badly in the blink of an eye? Is this result true or false? Even the referees in the arena are a little confused at the moment. Cough. The first battle, Guangming Academy wins. The referee made the final verdict, which can be regarded as bringing this matter to an end. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to talk too much, in all aspects, just stick to it. Facts are facts. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3029. Gui Sha has now become a figure like a dark horse. It feels like it's just a joke. Why did Ren Sun from Yuanji Academy suddenly become sluggish? Just kidding. Why do I feel like he was fooling me at first? I have the same feeling, I'm so stupid, Ghost knows what's going on. Could it be that this Yuanji Academy didn't dare to win the Guangming Academy and just surrendered? Do you think it's possible that it's the way it was before? Hey, it seems that the possibility is really unlikely, but how to explain this kind of thing? Explanation? The best explanation is no explanation. It's just that the students of Yuanji Academy are too useless, and all the games that are guaranteed to win have gone wrong. This is the home court of Yuanji Academy. We lost the first battle. What about your face? I think that if Guangming Academy fights Yuanji Academy, there is a high probability that Guangming Academy will take off. Wave after wave of discussions followed. What is being said is actually more real. That's probably what it said. True and clear. Anyway, at this moment, Yuanji Academy is considered ashamed and thrown home. On the attic, Tai Shuja's mouth was about to burst open. The sarcasm of Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy before, still echoed in his ears. When the student named Ren Sun from Yuanji Academy had the upper hand, how proud was this guy? Those words at that time made one's scalp tingle. What about now? It's exactly like Bai Mayan. This guy has been a clown again anyway. I don't need to say much about the rest, anyway, it's funny to think about it now. So funny. Such a good opportunity to fight back must not be missed by Tai Shuja. At this moment, with his head held high, his whole body became smug. Ha 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 ha. Interesting, really interesting. Deputy Palace Master Su Qin, the students of your Yuanji Academy are really selfless. Is it possible that you really chose to admit defeat in order to show the friendship of the landlord? Tisk tisk tisk, this gift from Deputy Palace Master Su Qin is really too generous. My great uncle Ji is here to thank you. Hey, the Deputy Palace Master Su Qin must have said hello before, otherwise, how can an ordinary student of my Guangming Academy defeat the elite of the Yuanji Academy who used the sword spirit possession charm? Well, that's the way it is. It must be so. Tai Shuja was talking, then nodded in agreement and said. At this moment, everyone is drifting away. After Tai Shuja said these few words, it seemed too shocking. As long as anyone with a brain can hear it, this is completely reverse sarcasm. But the key point is that Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, is speechless at all. After all, he was the one who started to find fault before, and now that the matter has come to an end, he can only smash his teeth and swallow it in his stomach. What can I do if I feel unhappy? Now at this time, in addition to enduring. How frustrating. The mentality exploded instantly. Waste. It's all trash. Since all of them have used the sword spirit possessed talisman, they will still fail. Such a waste is not qualified to be a student of my Yuanji Academy. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, roared secretly in his heart. At this moment, his body trembled slightly, and the sound of breathing was very real. If you are not careful, it will really not collapse. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3030. Although he was extremely angry in his heart, he could only collapse on the surface. In all aspects, just stay steady. In any case, he, Su Qin, is the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, and his status are all there, so what can he do? He didn't use that dog guts to yell and play around here. So many pairs of eyes looking at it. If he, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, makes any moves, I'm afraid he will become the laughing stock of everyone. At that time, it was completely a gesture of slapping the face. After thinking about this, the whole person gradually exploded. No, it won't work like this. If it continues like this, my brain will be buzzing. I have to find a channel to vent and vent. If I can't stabilize, I really can't. Ha 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 ha. Brother Tai is really joking. The Guangming Academy where Uncle Tai works is really good at teaching. Otherwise, how can we cultivate a talent like Gisha? Oh, I remembered, just now, who said that this ghost is a cultivator of the sanctuary of the fallen world? Or the young palace master of the fallen world palace. No wonder, then no wonder. I said so. It turns out that there are so many things involved in it. Interesting, really interesting. As expected of the young palace master of the fallen world palace, the battle strength is really impressive. This time, Guangming Academy can recruit the favored son of the fallen world palace, which can be regarded as a huge profit. Wave after wave of yelling came, followed by a sneer. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, was actually mocking him. It's just that I didn't directly scold my mother. But overall, it's about the same. It's almost pointing at the nose and swearing. It probably means that your Guangming Academy will only bring out the arrogance of the fallen sanctuary to support the scene, but your Guangming Academy is essentially a waste, a piece of rubbish. That's probably what's happening in every way. Hee. Is the layout and vision of Deputy Palace Master Su Qin so big? Although this ghost is not bad, I have to admit that the genius of the fallen sanctuary is really good, but it seems that he hasn't reached the peak yet, right? After all, this ghost student is just a member of our Guangming Academy's reserve team. Forward. The reserve team has just been dispatched, and Deputy Palace Master Su Qin is so shocked. If the official first-year team members of our Guangming Academy were to play, wouldn't Deputy Palace Master Su Qin have to go down to receive them in person? Uncle Ji pretended to be like. While talking, he raised his head rather arrogantly, and his whole person became smug. How can one be so blissful? Isn't it just pretending to be coercive? Is there anything else I can't do? After Taishaji finished speaking, there was a burst of noise in the attic. Sanctuary Realm students at the beginning of the 5-star stage are actually from the reserve team. Oh my god, Guangming Academy is so terrifying. This ghost is already very strong, isn't it? Can you defeat the 5-star early stage sanctuary student of Yuanji Academy who cast the Sword Spirit Possession Talisman? It's not the same. This ghost is almost capable of displaying the combat power of the 5-star mid-stage sanctuary, and even stronger. The combat strength of the 5-star mid-level sanctuary can only become a member of the reserve team. Then, if the 5-star high-level sanctuary exists, is it to Ling Lai to suppress everyone?